The stock market is a market, okay? And it's important to understand it's a market that has stocks. Impossible to put lipstick on that pig. If Trump goes in, right, the third option, they couldn't get rid of him by hook or by crook. They couldn't force feed Kamala down our throats. So then number 3 is pull the plug on this credit bubble that would make 2008 look like a little pimple on our ass. The average person in New Jersey gets to spend only 43 cents out of every dollar they make. When you factor in the total tax burden, it's no better anywhere than 50-50. They tax you when you get the money. It's gone before it even hits your hands. Then you go to spend the money, they tax you for spending the money. Then you go to save the money, they tax you for saving the money. There's no end.
Everyone's a victim!
Do I look lighter to you at all, Skylar? Do I look lighter to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I look a little lighter too? Yeah. No. I mean, like, do I look like I am 20% lighter than I was on Friday?
I'd assume so.
I am like 22% lighter in my bank account today than I was on Friday. I took an absolute beating over the weekend. This Bidenomics, man, it's just not working out for me, I have to tell you. The jobs report came in, and it was bad. No shit. They've been lying for so long that they can't even lie anymore. The last, I believe, 4 jobs reports were all lies, meaning that they were all quote unquote corrected the quarter after they came out. So they came out and they were like, inflation's down, inflation's halted. And then you look at the M2s and they well, what do? They do corrections after some month later, and they're like, actually it's up 4%. The math was off a little bit. This is the modus operandi of our government and our media for the last 4 years, but it's accelerating as they're just running out of lies. Oh no, we misplaced $240 million that just got sent to the Taliban. Our mistake, my bad. Do you ever get you ever wake up and there's like $240 million in your bank account, Skylar? Is there any is there a single mom in like Alabama that wakes up one day and there's just like a random 15 grand in her account? It was like, oh no, the government.
I found $30 in my pocket this morning.
Big day. Buy the dip with that $30. Buy the dip. Oh yeah, meanwhile there's people that, they'll claim a deduction. They'll make a mistake on their taxes. The IRS will come after them for years with audits, cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees, fines, and accountants and attorneys. But another $1 billion goes missing to Ukraine. Oh man, it's just these people are so corrupt. Oh man, it's just so corrupted. And I can't listen. The dream of Bitcoin. Look, Bitcoin might double. Bitcoin might triple. By 2030, Bitcoin might be worth $1 billion. It might be. And maybe that was what the dream was for a lot of people. The dream of Bitcoin, the dream of crypto was get rich quick, And I more power to you. Money's a tool. But for a lot of us, the dream of crypto was a financial system fully independent from this corrupt government corporate kleptocracy that the quote unquote globals, it was some sort of ledger that would allow for free transactions between people globally, that didn't have to get washed through the bankers and the Fed, didn't have to get washed and just hammered through this fractional reserve banking system. So that things that are happening to people like my father today, the guy who has, and my mother, both of them, have done things the quote-unquote right way. My mother and father, and maybe you'll see yourself in this story, maybe you'll see your own parents in this story. My mother and father have done everything the right way. These are two by-the-book human beings, okay? They got married, had kids, young, bought a house, took their 30-year mortgage. Both of them have worked 40 hours plus a week my whole life. And now this will be the third 20% haircut that they've had to take. I mean, in 2008, my dad lost everything. Worked for Bank of America, lost it all. I've talked about it in depth on the PBD podcast. I'm not going to go back into it right now if you guys want to check that out. Victims of the system. Inflation stealing everything that they've tried to save. And that's what angers me the most, right? It's like, I'm a dipshit. Like, I'm a dipshit adventurer. I don't care. I've had money, lost money, had money, lost money. I have money, and I'll lose it again. Because I don't believe in the system. I don't. My parents do. But I do not. I believe it's corrupt to its core. I believe that our system takes great people like my parents and abuses their trust, uses them as tax cattle, as fodder for the machine, has them work 60, 70 hours a week. My dad, I remember having him jog in a suit, taking a bus an hour, sitting in traffic, what should have been, a 30-minute drive into Manhattan. He's taking a bus an hour, sitting through traffic, working a 10-hour day, leaving the house at 5 a.m., coming back, coaching my Little League rec baseball in a suit. We'll have dinner together as a family, and then Dad's tired. He's going to go to bed because he's got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get a bus to go to the city to sit at a desk, to make something of himself for his family, to provide. And then all of that wealth, he does the right thing. He does what he's told to do. He trusts the system. He invests it in the market. We didn't live in a big house. Lower middle class, maybe middle class, suburban New Jersey. 5 people in a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Big back door though. Above ground pool. It was great. It was the American dream. For a kid like my dad that grew up, one of 7, father died when he was 12. He had been working his whole life. He made something, man. He was making something. 2008, they pulled the rug. He works for Bank of America, gets fired. And his value, his stock, a lot of people don't know this, but to circumvent taxes and not pay their people, what was common in the 80s and 90s, 2000s, was salary packages, okay? Where I could offer you a $200,000 a year salary package, but it was really a $50,000 salary and then $100,000 in company stock, or let's say $50,000 in company stock, and then another $50,000 when you hit your base markers, commission, and all that other stuff. And then you got T&A. So you got to use the company credit card to take out clients and all this other stuff. Okay? Not a bad life, not a bad gig. It was all to get around taxes. It was all to get around payroll taxes, and instead of paying somebody $150,000 and then for them, like, hey, look, it's better for me. We don't have to pay $150,000 in taxes. It's great. Great way to circumvent the greedy pig that is our federal government. But then when your entire compensation is in stock for 10 years, and the company is engaging in remarkably reckless activities, mortgage, credit swaps, derivatives, betting on betting on betting. And in a one-day period, not businesses, the entire financial system, entire industries go under. And BOA stock goes down 75, 80%. Now people say, why didn't you just hold it? The stock went up eventually. Well, because you got a house and you have a car and you have a mortgage and you got kids. You're going to hold it all the way down? No, you got to sell. You got to, at some point, you got to protect the last 10 years of your life. So years of people's lives, wealth eviscerated. And what did we learn from that? Because something has to be learned from that. You can't look at what happened in 2008 and go, okay, well, nope, this system works. Too big to fail. Banks got bailed out. We learned nothing. What we really learned, and what the banks really learned, and more importantly, what the rich people, mostly Democrat donors, at the very top learned. And this may be why they became Democrats. They used to be Republicans, these people. They used to be like very Republicans, the Reagan donor class. Now they're Democrats, and what they understand is that as long as we're buddies with the government, nothing will happen to us. Membership has its perks. As long as we buddy with the government, they will protect us. So we can do whatever rank shit we want to do. We can make whatever lies we want to make. Janet Yellen, we get caught in a short squeeze by some autistic in a red bandana. Janet Yellen will bail us out. In a just world, GameStop is worth $1 million a share right now. It should have went up to infinity. We've learned nothing other than that greed is not only good, it's policy. So as you see this bear market finally expose itself, it's been a bear market all summer for anybody that trades. We start to see, okay, now what lies that have been told are not going to be told going forward. And that's what's key here, right? Like, I've been telling you, you've been listening to me for months now. I've been telling you, plan A, get rid of Trump. Plan A. By any means necessary, clearly. Unless you really believe a 20-year-old goober with a bicycle and a step ladder was able to beat the world's most formidable security detail. Still can't believe a month ago that happened and nobody's talking about it anymore. Somebody tried to kill the former and perhaps future president of the United States. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Everybody just accepts that, okay, no, this guy crooks. This guy did it. Yeah, crazy guy. 20-year-old goober with a Huffy and a step ladder was able to beat the local, state, federal police and the Secret Service. Oh, my God. Come on. I mean, come on. Just come on. Just come on. Step one was that. Step two, wag the dog. Kamala's the most popular president ever. Kamala, unbelievable. Oh, my God. Oh, and they got like a week. They got like a week of like it was working for a week, you know. And then, everybody heard her talk for the first time ever and we're like, oh, no. And now it's just the most annoying white women on earth in LA being like, Kamala's brat. It's like, oh my God. Who wants to associate themselves with these people? Like everybody, I was saying it when everybody was like, Kamala's doing unbelievable. I was like, of course she is. Kamala could be doing terrible. They're going to tell you she's doing great. They have to make it close enough to psychologically prepare the country for the steal to be plausible, right? Like, we all know this. But then she started talking, and everybody was like, now I remember why I hated her. The stock market is a market, okay? And it's important to understand it's a market that has stocks. Impossible to put lipstick on that pig. Just give it time. Just let her talk, and she'll take care of the rest. So then step 3, I always thought was, if by some miracle the deep state were to lose and the populist would get back into office, they have to destroy him, because they need to take all the resources that he would have to attack them. You got to understand, for at least the last 15, 16 years, these people have been doing remarkably illegal shit. Go back to Eric Holder, the weaponization of the DOJ, the infiltration. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard blew the lid off of it, and then I think she got arrested, which is crazy. What happened with Tulsi Gabbard? Something happened with Tulsi Gabbard, which I found very fascinating, because she made a video 2 days ago blowing the lid off of MSNBC being just a propaganda arm of the DNC. And she would know she ran the DNC. She wasn't just a Democrat. She ran the party before they kicked her out of the party for having a conscience. And she said this is donations in kind. She gave the playbook for how to go after them, expose them to billions and billions of dollars in liability. And then something happened to her. But they can't allow Trump the opportunity to do this. You got to understand the way the game is played. They have to occupy him. And the perfect way to occupy him, what does he care most about? Gold, Trump, money, rich, right? He wants an impressive stock market. This stock market that they've been telling us is the highest it's ever been. Unemployment's the lowest. The economy's great. Bidenomics. But everybody's looking around going, why the hell's food so expensive? How come I don't know anybody that's gotten a raise? Like, this doesn't make sense. We're being told this is the best economy of our lifetime, but everything here at the peasant level is worse than it was 4 years ago. There's just no way. Gas is more expensive. Groceries are more expensive. There are less people being hired. And I don't know anybody outside of tech that's making good money. You know how many people I know that have second jobs? For the most time, now maybe this is just the age I'm in, but for the most people in my life, I know are like either driving Uber, bartending. Everybody is like scraping to get by. Rent through the roof. Nobody's buying houses. Nobody's buying houses. My friend's a real estate agent. She's made one sale. She lives in the biggest real estate market in the world. She used to make 4 or 5 sales a day. She said she's made one sale so far this month. Talking about moving from Florida. I was like, to where? To where? They're telling us all these things. They're lying to us, and it's being covered by their media machine, who Tulsi Gabbard has exposed as just a propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. We're being told what the reality is, but the reality we're actually living in is very different. We all feel that. That's why you're watching this, because you're sick of getting lied to. You're sick of being fed propaganda. You feel it inside. We have instinct and go, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Your bullshit meter's through the roof. And now what I predicted, I think it was 2 months ago on this show, was in November. If Trump was elected, or it looked like, they got to try to prop up the economy as long as they possibly can, because it would be a death knell for the Biden, although Nancy Pelosi says he deserves to be on Mount Rushmore. The guy who was so feeble in his 4th year that the own party wouldn't let him run, who's definitely not been running the country. Nancy Pelosi sits there with a straight face and says, he deserves to be on Mount Rushmore. Vodka. I don't hate these people because they're Democrats. I don't care what jersey they wear. I hate these people because they're lying, manipulative, corrupt scum. And I think I hate them most because they believe they are untouchable. Maybe what I really hate is us, that we allow them to believe that they are untouchable, that they can just steal from us and lie to us and condescend us, and we do nothing about it. Maybe that's what I hate. Maybe what I really hate is me. probably what really hates me. That makes the most sense. So if Trump goes in, right, the third option, they couldn't get rid of him by hook or by crook. They couldn't force feed Kamala down our throats. So then number 3 is pull the plug on this credit bubble that would make 2008 look like a little pimple on our ass. This economy needs a correcting. I mean, it's insane, right? That you have to lie, prop it up, keep rates this high for as long as possible. What a perfect opportunity for the correction. Destroy Trump's second term right as he's getting in office. Punish us, populists, for not letting them have their way. And then say, make Trump the next Hoover. Trump brought in 100 years of recession. It's never been this bad since the Great Depression. You can just see the headlines now, right? Like the Trump Depression. But there's one problem with that strategy. It's almost perfect, but there's one problem with that strategy, and that is that these people are rats. And they know that they're surrounded by fellow rats. And rats cannot be trusted. Squirrely people cannot be trusted. So what do? When they say, okay, this is the plan, we all agreed that this was the plan. We agreed this is what we were going to do. When it comes to money, people get squirrely. So they look around seeing these other rats and going, I don't trust these rats to wait for the plan. I got to get out now. Warren Buffett says, I got to get out now. This is the top. I got to get out now. I'm not losing $1 billion for the machine. And then somebody sees Warren Buffett pull out and go, wait, is that rat leaving the ship? I need to pull out. And then I need to pull out, and I need to pull out. And this plan that was supposed to go into place as a break glass in case of emergency, and this is all just my opinion. This is all just me reading the tea leaves. I told you, if you've been watching this show, I told you I was divesting of everything by September. Out by crypto and all of it by November. Maybe I was late. I think we'll see a dead count bounce. It'll go back up, for sure. But I think we might have seen the top. And then I think we're going to have a correction. Are they going to be able to hold the greedy rats at bay until the election? Because then the worst thing that could happen is, that Kamala actually does get elected. And then, the Kamala crash. Now she's the one blamed for it. But also, it doesn't really matter, because if they got her elected, then it just goes to prove that they can get anybody elected. Then the midterms don't matter. The only thing that matters then is local elections. They're not rigging local elections. The local elections matter. What your sheriff is, who your district attorney. George Soros has showed you guys the real plan, right? You don't need, it doesn't matter what the laws are. It matters who enforces them. Local matters, right? We got some comments, looks like, Skylar?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Real quick, Skylar, for people watching on TikTok, it looks like there's, 60 of you or whatever. Go on over to X, YouTube, and Facebook, and any one of your comments will get read live on air. And you can't hear anything that we're playing. If you're on TikTok, I'm on TikTok right now just to try to force feed you into the other places so you can go to X, YouTube, or Facebook, and every single one of your comments will get read. We read 100% of all comments on this show. Go ahead. This is the podcast of the people. I want to hear from the people. Skylar, what do they got?
All right, so Moha the Hymn says, Holla Walla, Gerard, watching live from Saudi Arabia. The Middle East is literally the apple of the globe, being at the center of its body and most troubles. Yeah,
there's something very, very strange. Like Saudi Arabia, the money going on in Saudi Arabia, what's happening in Israel, Saudi Arabia, the Ben-Gurion canal theory, a lot happening right now. I'm not a big fan of the U.S. looks like prepared to escalate. Man, they want this war, guys. Like, let's just, like, why are we acting like we don't know what's going on? Like, these people, they're like, they want the war. The quote-unquote Great Reset, they told us what they want, okay? Like, and in their minds, this is how sick these people are. In their minds, it's like, well, we tried to do it the nice way, and you peasants wouldn't go along with it. We tried to not kill off 1 million of you, and you people just wouldn't go along with the Green Revolution. All we wanted was all of your money and for you to not be able to have free speech. That's all we wanted. But no, you guys have to have free speech. No, you want to control your own lives. Okay, great. War with Russia, war with Iran, war with China. Coming right up. Because look, they're in a pickle. They don't see us as human beings. They see us as numbers on a spreadsheet. Just look at what they keep talking about. This isn't some crazy conspiracy theory. This isn't a tinfoil hat thing. What do they keep, what do they keep talking about? Overpopulation. Not having enough jobs for the AI revolution. You know, how are we going to feed people? What, you know, people can't eat meat anymore. The water is impossible to clean. We have to go to 15-minute cities immediately, right? And we have to go to EV immediately, and we can't have flights anymore, and we need only high-speed rail, and all of a sudden you're looking line by line by line. Flying sucks, right? Nobody can afford a house. You will own nothing and be happy. So what is the logical conclusion? How do you get rid of millions of people, solve for overpopulation, and then give millions of people jobs? How do you control the economy? How do you control resources? How do you ration out who gets what and not have the people lose their minds? War. You kill 1 million working age people. You destroy a bunch of stuff. Then there's less people. And there's things for them to do. We need to rebuild. And then whoever is the victor has the spoils of war. And then you get the 1950s. The American dream. Everybody gets a house and a white picket fence, and one guy can work at the factory, make $50,000 a year, and own two cars, send all of his kids to college, even have a summer home. Because there's so many less people. So much shit has been destroyed. It all needs to be rebuilt. They want war, guys. The difference is, I think, and it's impossible to know because I wasn't there in the 1920s, obviously, when this was first brooding up after World War I. Difference is, I don't think our ruling class has nationalistic tendencies anymore. I think during World War I, World War II, there was intense national pride amongst the ruling class that mattered to them that they were American, and they cared about their American population. Now our ruling class see themselves as global citizens. They don't see themselves as Americans. They see themselves as this new enlightened understanding of the global citizen, open border society, which makes us their enemy. People that don't want one world government, people that don't want globalism are their enemy. So our American elite, they side more with the global expansionists than they do with their own people. Tell me something that explains our current zeitgeist better than that. It's like everything that is happening for real on the ground here with us peasants, they almost feel like they have to apologize to their European overlords for. It's very, very strange. What are the other comments, Skylar?
All right, so Mohad the Hymn says the tax system in the U.S. is crazy. Systematic robbery.
It's insane. Yeah, I mean, it's actually insane. Cato Institute did a study a few years back, and it was state by state. But when you factored in all the taxes, you factored in state, local, sales tax, capital gains tax, property tax, you factored in the entirety of the tax budget. This had to be in like 2015, 16, because Hillary Clinton was running on this idea that people aren't paying their fair share, and Bernie Sanders was just becoming huge, and the idea was like, oh, we're not paying enough taxes. And they took one thing where like the federal income tax was lower than it was in the 1920s, right? But they didn't want to talk about the fact that there was no federal income tax before 1913. From 1776 all the way to 1913, zero federal income tax. Matter of fact, you can make an argument it's constitutionally illegal to have a federal income tax. It's kind of what got Hamilton killed. Indirectly, probably sleeping with everybody's wife is what really got him killed, but missed that part in the in the rebrand. Amazing to me that Alexander Hamilton got the social justice rebrand. The guy who wanted an actual aristocracy, wanted to be kings and queens of the New World, demanded that there be a central bank so that the peasants paid for their liberation. Hamilton was a scumbag, man. Out of all of our founding fathers, to me, he is by far the worst. And people say, like, what about Benedict Arnold? Benedict Arnold, he is the definition of die a hero before you become a villain. Benedict Arnold was one of the best founding fathers before he lost faith. Lost faith. Horatio Gates, I believe, was, I got to brush up on it, but if I remember, Horatio Gates was the real villain in that story. And then an impulsive move changed everything forever for old Benedict Arnold. Now his name lives in infamy. Don't give up before the miracle happens, folks. Yeah, the tax strike. So anyway, sorry, I'm all over the place. The Cato Institute, 2016, and I say that because I'm fairly certain it's worse now. Factoring the entire total tax burden without factoring in tolls, toll roads, bridges, things like that. So it's even more. The average person in New Jersey gets to spend only 43 cents out of every dollar they make. I got to look up that study, but that feels pretty burned into my memory because I remember reading that going, there's just no way. Why would anybody work? When you factor in the total tax burden, it's no better anywhere than 50-50. They tax you when you get the money. It's gone before it even hits your hands. Then you go to spend the money, they tax you for spending the money. Then you go to save the money, they tax you for saving the money. There's no end. And what's even crazier is if the government can just print money whenever it wants, as we've seen over the last 4 years, setting inflation through the roof, why do we need taxes at all? Why are we paying taxes? Can anybody explain that to me? If the government prints money, why are we paying taxes? And if we're paying taxes, what accountability do we have that the tax money is being spent efficiently and effectively? Zero. They never even tell you that. They don't even try to pretend that the tax money is being spent effectively or efficiently. They just say, give them more. Give them more. And in their defeatist, crazy mind, they'll be like, and then at least some of the money that escapes corruption will get to the kids and the poors. I just have nothing in common with these people. I have nothing in common with the weakness of this level. I keep trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, let me put myself in the shoes of these crazy cat women who keep voting for this shit. Like, can I put myself in the shoes? Like, how do I put myself in the shoes of a leftist American man who's excusing all of this? excusing all of this. It's giving SDE. I don't know what that means. Oh, Texas Dem said it, so it's probably something retarded. It's giving. Who fucking talks like that? Everything about you guys is just so fucking brutal. Everything about you guys is just disgusting from head to toe. I have nothing in common with the modern liberal. Nothing. The way they talk, the way they dress, the way they act. It just literally everything from head to toe just disgusts them. I find them grotesque. You're gross. You're gross. You're gross. It's giving SD Texas Democrats. You have anywhere else you can live, you have to be a Texas Democrat. What a horrible, disgusting human being. SD small dick energy. That's what they always go to. Isn't that weird? They always go to like people who disagree with me have a small dick. Isn't that like a weird? First of all, let's talk about it from their perspective. Is that ableist? Is that body shaming? Isn't that what these people are all about? Or are they just completely full of shit? Are they just complete? Who can live their life with this level of hypocrisy? It's giving small dick energy. Imagine saying that to like any of the fucking queers that are out there waving their wangs in front of the fucking kids. Any single one of those people. Unbelievable. Like I can't believe the Republicans are weird is what they're going with. Like we didn't just live through the last 10 years of you freaks out there giving children lap dances with a sign that says it's not going to lick itself. Republicans are weird. Oh, it sounds weird. You guys wore masks on top of masks. It's weird. You guys wear pink hats. Pussy hats. Everything you do. It's not just weird, it's cringy. You guys are losing black men because of how corny you are. You're just like, they just don't want to be associated. You're so corny and so cringy. The Latins left already. Black men are like, man, look, I know you guys got my back, but I can't be a part of this. I can't be a part of this cat lady shit anymore. They're just such cornballs. It's just freaks, cornballs and cat ladies. That's the modern Democratic Party. It's a whole bunch of mega rich people lying to a group of freaks, cornballs, and cat ladies. Who wants to be a part of that? Who looks at one of these rallies, one of these many rallies, and says, wow, I want to be a part of that? No wonder they got to pay people.
Moha the Hymn says it's so hard to be blackmailed by having constitutional rights and being taxed like crazy in a controlled economy and in an illusion of democracy. Luke himself says, sup with ya.
What up, homie?
Brett Patterson says that's how they keep them in line, in reference to what you were saying before. Luke himself says Robert Barnes is fighting for our rights to buy fresh farm food.
Well, you know what's crazy about that, man, is another 200,000 acres was bought by, what's his name, Huang from China. And like,
how is that even allowed?
We're giving China our farmland. We're giving access to our water. We're giving it, like when Dr. Phil is the guy concerned about this. Like he's like, hey, how come they're buying all the farmland? And every one of these farms is around one of our military bases. When Dr. Phil is saying that, like, come on, like if he's noticing. Warren Buffett doesn't actually have inside information. He just bought the new iPhone and was like, "Oh, sell this company. This company's blackberried for sure."
Aren't they like established in China?
Yeah, but also, have you seen like their like the reveal for this? Like she's coming, and it was just the fat black lady, and it was like Tim Cook, the one white dude, and
the gay one.
Yeah, and all of like every color of wheat around him, and it's all like, you know, effeminate. It's just cascadingly more effeminate people of color, you know, and he's just like, I'm here to listen. You guys lead. I'm here to listen. In retrospect, when I saw that commercial, I should have sold every single dollar of Apple I had right there. I deserve to lose for not, you know. I mean,
it's hard to bet against the number one company, though, right?
Yeah, but also at the same point, like, you know, principles matter. Like, screw it. I don't need to own Apple. Fuck out of here. You know, I'll put all that money into MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy will be a top 10 company in the world in 5 years anyway. Yeah.
Casey Dillard says it's amazing going to the store in Florida and masks are back in style.
Get out of here. Where?
I don't know.
Where?
Probably Tallahassee or something.
Bully those people. Bully those people. You know what? I've come around on that. Let me not act like an asshole tough guy. Let me not Adam Conover. Now I just like look at those people and I'm like, I shake my head and then go. But like, you know what? They're not bothering anybody anymore. I never really had a problem with people that were scared that wanted to wear a mask, to be honest with you. I had a problem with people who told other people to wear a mask, or people that were like, get it up over your nose, or like, those are the people I had a problem with. The mask police, the people that you know, deputized themselves. Those are the people I had an issue with. But, you know, if somebody's scared and they want to wear a mask, I just hate when I can see somebody and be like, man, that person votes Democrat. You know, and you're just like, just why are you the way you are? What are the other comments?
E Fabulous says there's a caricature of the popular high school girl, Brat Summer, you weirdos.
Oh my God, Brat Summer, weirdos. That's so brat. It's like 45-year-old women acting like this. And, you know, at least it's come full circle where they have a little bit of self-awareness. Do you think they understand? Do you think they have a little bit of self-awareness that they are brats? Like, this has been my whole thing with this whole generation. Like, they add nothing of value. Like, they add nothing. They're just brats. They want to act like, you know, their opinion matters, their voice matters. They've done nothing to have it matter. You know, and they just do disrespectful shit after disrespectful shit, and they're like, we're the smartest, most progressive, best people ever. It's like, no, you're just a brat. Like, even the comedy, like Pete Davidson, just a brat. Like, how has Pete Davidson had a 20-year Hollywood career? Like, what are the top 3 things? Skeet, skeet, skeet. Hilarious. Fucking fall down, hilarious. What else? What else has he done besides just be a brat? You know, he became a leftist hero when he made fun of Dan Crenshaw's eye, and then like rolled his eyes, and was like, oh, I guess I should make fun of a Democrat, so like people think we're like, you know, making fun of both sides or whatever. And they loved him forever for that, because that's just a brat fucking comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a brat. So yeah, good for them, because they love liars and they love brats. That's kind of the way our culture is going, right? Like, our culture is going towards, you can be like noble or you can be ignoble, right? Like, you could sit here, Simone Biles, LeBron James, representing the United States of America, 330 million people. The American people are paying for them to be there. They win. Go us. And in that moment, do they say, thank you, my fellow Americans, proud to be an American, love to be here, thank you for everybody that made it happen? No, they go, that's my black job. Love my black job. Black. And immediately, if you're not black, you're sitting here going like, okay, well, cool. Good for you guys, I guess. Unless you're one of these white cat ladies like, oh my God, black people. Oh, so stunning and brave. I wish I was black. And then we wonder where like Rachel Dolezal comes from, Sean King comes from. We wonder where like Bad Bunny comes from. Of course these people would want to be black. We've made it so that black is like this thing on a pedestal. So funny to me. Is Kamala Harris black? What the fuck does it matter? Trump is doing that. Who cares? Because the unsaid part of that sentence is, because we all know it's better to be black, right? We all know it makes you more important if you're black. It's special. It's special if you're, but she's not black. Don Lemon was making this argument how many years ago? She's like, well, she's Jamaican and in the Hindu and part white, but she's not African American. This is Don Lemon on CNN, back when they used to get more than 16 viewers a night, saying that. arguing with a black lady while two white guys sit in the middle and going like, what the fuck are they talking about? Because it wasn't so obvious yet that black is special. And let's not act like it's not, right? I mean, are we going to act like it's not? Because that's the whole argument, right? The whole argument is she special? Is she one of the chosen people? Is she part of the tribe? Of course, if she is, then, I mean, it doesn't matter that she has a white husband. Doesn't matter that, you know, she self-identified as a Hindu. It doesn't matter that she's wealthy and that she put black guys in jail. She's black. She's got to take over. White people, you got to understand. You got to take a step back. Sure, your ancestors were conquerors. Sure, your ancestors built European civilization. Sure, if you jumped off the highest building in sub-Saharan Africa, you might roll your ankle. Sure. But you're a pussy now. And you're an afraid sissy. There's words you won't say. There's ideas you believe, but they keep them inside because, God forbid, anybody knows how you really feel. You are neutered. You are tame. Kneel. Kneel before your new gods. All right, that might be a little bit much. But the point remains. Why does it matter if she's black? It used to matter because, you know, then they'll never get the job. Brian Gumbel had to try to act, or it wasn't Brian Gumbel, who was it? Somebody tried to act like they were Italian for the longest time, which is hilarious in its own right. Which was wrong then. But now this idea that, like, you know, modern leftists, modern lefty white people don't like look upon the glory that is black. You know, will you be our Mamala? The rich white lady gets on her knees and asks Kamala. Kind of shady in retrospect, isn't it? Kind of shady in retrospect. Was Drew Barrymore one of those rats that jumped the gun a little bit early? She knew that they were going to replace Joe, and she's like, I need the scoop. I want Kamala on the show. Will you be my Mamala? Why would, at that time, she was getting destroyed for how poorly she handled the border, even though they're trying to memory hole that. She was the lowest rated vice president, I believe, in modern history. Drew Barrymore has her on her daytime talk show, gets on her knees. A lot of that symbolism, isn't there? Super Bowl commercial, white people getting on their knees, washing the feet of the black folks. All the white people, Megan Rapinoe getting on their knees. Drew Barrymore gets on her knees, looks up at her savior and goes, will you be my Mamala? Will you save us, weak white people, from the strong, scary white people? And then you get the tough white people like Adam Conover who know they're weak, so they overproject. Like, I'm so tough, I looked him in the eyes and I told him to go fuck himself. Yeah. And that's why you black people need me. Because I'm out there fighting for you. Without men like me, you wouldn't have a chance in this town. I don't know, Adam, that sounds pretty racist. I feel like black people existed in entertainment before you. No. I fight for them. I'm the sheriff of these parts. Not on my watch. Honky. Step aside. The black woman gets this job. I have nothing in common with these people. Nothing. I have nothing. Nothing in common. I used to be able to tolerate it. I used to be able to like giggle about it. I used to be able to sit in a green room around other comedians and just like roll my eyes and keep my mouth shut. Now I can't even be around them for a minute. They start talking that bullshit and I'm like, shut the fuck up. You should see their faces. They're so not used to being called on their shit. They're so used to just pontificating like Patrick Bateman, I'm sorry. Patrick Bateman. Like Patrick Bateman at dinner, just pontificating. And then having the gay at the table go, oh my God, Patrick, that was so thoughtful. Just shut the fuck up. Shut up. You got to see their heads explode, especially the women. They're like, is he allowed to say, is he allowed to talk like that? Yeah, bitch, I am. Tweet about it. I don't give a fuck. I'm so past the point of giving a fuck. So past the point. I had comedians at this one show. This guy put on 2 comedians in front of me. And they were like these liberal white guys, and they were just like doing 20 minutes of like white guys, am I right? And I was already pissed off because one was a drop-in and both of them ran the light. And so I got up and I was already pretty heated. And I was like, you're never supposed to do this, in fairness, but I was heated. And it was a room full of my audience, people that bought tickets to see me, my audience. And I looked out at them and I'm like, fucking give it up for those guys, huh? A bunch of fucking shitty jokes from pussy white guys. I could have just stayed in New York if I wanted to hear shitty liberal comedy, huh? And the crowd fucking died laughing. And the guys were like, you can't say, how dare you say that? That's mean. And I'm like, of course it's fucking mean. I'm not worried about being nice. I'm worried about being funny. That's why you fucking pussies are opening for me. Your job's to be funny, you pandering fucking clowns.
So he was in a good place.
No, this is, I might as well play this. This is
top
funny.
Of his game.
All right, this is
such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there.
A Mount Rushmore president, Mount Rushmore. And that's why we had to get rid of him.
And Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down.
Oh God, get it off, 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 get it off. Find the right clip, please. I take the time to send you the clip.
Which
please
one?
pull up Eddie Griffin. Dude, do you not know who Eddie Griffin is? Dude, I DM'd it to you.
Really? All right, let's check. Which one?
Up. There you go.
Oh, okay, cool. This one?
Nope.
That one.
Yep, that's the one.
You're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe
Mount Rushmore.
in freedom
Mount
and
Rushmore.
equality. But these extremists, as they say, they not like us.
No, they not.
Yeah, look at this bitch. They not like us. Kendrick, kick her in the head. Kick her in the head for even using your goddamn legs. They not like you. Ain't like us either, bitch. Well, how about that? Fuck.
Streets, and let me tell you.
The Democrats got to be careful. The one thing black men will not tolerate is being made a fool out of. These cornball. The Democratic Party is tunneling in. They're narrowing in on their real bases. Their real bases are remarkably greedy corporations, freaks, and cat ladies. And they all rally around, yay, pom-poms for the black people. But real black people are like, bro, not like this. No. Eddie Griffin, one of the funniest human beings of all time. Man, did he call it with the Popeyes chicken or what? The General's chicken? There's some, I don't know if you guys believe in predictive programming. I don't know if you guys believe in that, but like Idiocracy with Terry Crews and then Hulk Hogan, like shot for shot, scene for scene at the RNC. You got the General's fried chicken. Then you got that Popeyes chicken craze. 160 or 170 additives in Chick-fil-A and Popeyes chicken. Like, it's just chicken. How can you have 160 additives? Seed oils. Crazy shit, man. Crazy. I don't, like everybody always says it's always been like this, but now we just have access to the information. But I don't think that's true. I think that for the first time in history, we have access to the information. So we're not just getting today's lies. We're getting the lies for the last 150 years. Like, we're finding out all this stuff, and it's like, my God, was all of this, everything just a lie? Like, how can you believe anything government says? Like, anything government says, anything the media says, it's all. How can you even know Operation Mockingbird exists and trust what's being said in the media? But then you get into this rabbit hole of like, okay, but then how do I know seed oils are really bad? Because what if this person's a plant? And if this person's a plant and they're arguing with this plant, does it make that person a plant? Like, who's not a plant? Everybody's a plant. Are you a plant? Are you a plant? Who's not a plant? Like, can literally trust nobody, trust nothing. I can see why people just want to like move into the country, grow your own food. It's like, dude, no. Anything that I have not seen from inception to birth through growth, I don't want a part of. It's if it is a simulation, man, what a simulation. Holy shit. I was joking the other day. If you're a Fed listening to this, I was joking the other day on Friday's episode when I said, why are we even like playing along with this? Like, you look at the size of you. Look at what you've been able to accomplish in your life. Look at how big and strong and smart and capable you are. You can run your old household. You know how to accumulate the resources you need to keep yourself and your family alive. Look at you listening to this. You're big, you're strong, you're capable. Why are we going along with this? Why are we letting 150-pound, corrupt, evil strangers get over on us? I'm joking. I'm totally joking. But I think it would be hilarious. It would be a hilarious joke if 20 or 30 of us just called it quits, became a raiding band, went all around Silicon Valley, punishing the people who have censored, bullied, and abused us, using their money to help our people, all the people that are out there struggling to pay groceries. It would be a hilarious joke if, I don't know, we were able to find some of these people that are working as lobbyists and helped organize these riots and these protests and got paid millions of dollars to destroy our cities. It would be a hilarious joke if, I don't know, 10 or 20 of us found them at their compound and took their resources and gave it to those business owners that they so callously ruined. I just think that would be a great joke, personally. I think it would be a great prank. Everybody loves a prank. I think it would be a great prank, to take, some of these corrupt people and punish them for their corruption. And then take their resources, which they ill-got, and distribute them around the people who actually need them. The families that are struggling to pay their grocery bills. The mom that's struggling to get her kids medication. TeleRx.com. Use code SMT. It would be just like such a hilarious prank. It would be so funny if we punish these people for their crimes. I just think it would be hilarious. Go ahead, play the clip.
All right, here we go.
Well, hold on, wait, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
Oh, is Kamala black?
Pause real quick, pause.
I share that same view.
Wow.
Pause. So just to give people a little background on this, because this clip is cut a little short. There's an effeminate white guy who is dressed to the T's in this, I believe it's Atlanta barbershop, where he's trying to find out what real black people think about Kamala Harris. To which he says a question. One of the guys answers it in a way the CNN guy does not like, so he tries to control the narrative and ask a question leading towards the answer that he wanted, which was, that Kamala's really black and Donald Trump is the devil. And this guy cuts him off and says, "Shut up, white boy. We'll take it from here." And then we have the clip. Go ahead and play, Skylar.
Oh, is Kamala black, yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black and half Asian.
Going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat.
Well, hold on, wait, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
Okay, now here's the best part.
I'm going to let her speak.
Pause. Now the best part of this, it's obviously not in this clip. As soon as that cuts, where the three of those black guys say, nah, I don't really think Kamala's black, the white guy at CNN comes in, cuts in, and goes, I'll just have you know that I asked many people, and they said that these are low information voters, and that, Kamala is absolutely black, and these people do not represent accurately the thoughts and minds of the black voting community, and it's important to remember that there are low information voters in the black community as well as the white community. And it was just like, wait. The way he said it, see if you can find it, Skylar, but let's not take 15 minutes. If you can't, you can't. So the way he said it was so condescending. It was like, blacks can be dumb voters too. The way he tried playing it was like, we all know whites are idiots. This white guy on CNN. We all know whites are low information voters, but blacks can have a few sprinkled in there from time to time as well. Read the comments, man. I'll find the clip. Read the comments, dude. Holy shit. So funny. So funny.
Luke himself says doctors mistakenly put their father's nationality on her birth certificate. So, I guess the doctors did. Instead of ethnicity, he's Indian. So,
no, he's Jamaican. Her father is Jamaican. He's a Jamaican Marxist. Marxist economist from Stanford University. Father's an interesting guy. Who else?
Looks like that's about it.
You know what's going on? I can see there's comments that are on Facebook.
I don't know, man.
That are not coming through here. Bomber? Yeah, I don't know. Are these all coming from either? Guys, let us know where the comments are coming from so we can kind of figure that out.
It looks like there's kind of like a problem with the comments.
Is there a problem with the comments?
I think there might be.
Here it is. I got this is the full clip. I'm sending it to you now. I'm gonna put it on your Instagram just so that we can keep it going, and then after this we'll wrap it up. But this is the full clip, and I find it very, very, very funny. Go ahead and pull that up, Sky, and then let's call it for today. But it's just so funny, man. Donald Trump responds to the market crash. Breaking news. While you're pulling that up, I'll read Donald Trump. Donald Trump says, Japan down 12%, India down 6%, Germany, down also, U.S., really bad. This is a preview of the world markets without Donald J. Trump in the White House. None of this happens if Trump is in. Kamala and the markets don't go together. She'll destroy the markets. She's in power now. And look at what is happening. 1 week of the fake media saying better polls, and you get a market crash. The legendary Howard Lutnick. Oh, wow. My bad. So that was Howard Lutnick talking about Donald Trump, the worst Donald Trump. I apologize for how bad my Donald Trump is. Apparently, everybody can do a Donald Trump. Everybody can, like, the hackiest people can do a perfect Donald Trump. And I just can't. I can't do it. I'm not an impressions guy. I don't. If it's not this guy right here, I can't do no impressions. You understand? And that's not really an impression. That's just a recollection from my youth. That's not really an impression. Yeah. So go ahead, play that clip, bro.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Hold on, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no.
Oh. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I share that same view.
Wow. Is Kamala black? Yes or no?
I heard she's half black and half Asian.
When I played that audio on my SiriusXM radio program on Thursday, many callers who self-identified as African American were quick to tell me that those men were the exception, not the rule. Some described them as low information voters, no different than you'd find among whites.
No different than you'd find among whites.
Is Kamala going to make you...
Is It's so funny to me that people think I'm racist. I swear to God, man, it's so funny to me that people think I'm racist when I just think black people are equal to me. I think that they're just the same as me. These aren't the special black people. No. There are some of them that can be just as bad as whites. Am I reading it wrong? Did it sound like that to you? Am I listening to it wrong?
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Play that again. Play that last part again. But just don't play the whole thing again. Just go back to his explaining of it. They were quick to tell me that
those men were the exception, not the rule. Some describe them as low information voters, no different than you'd find among whites.
What does that sound like to you, Skylar?
I think it might be considered racism one day.
You think so?
Maybe.
The way he said that, man. The way he said that was so funny. Like that. Oh my God almighty, that's so funny. I'll have you know that those men, all right, although we went to this black barbershop because we were certain they were going to agree with us, we were just unlucky enough to find the 3 black men who were just as stupid as the whites. What are we doing here? We're fighting racism, and we will not have those black men acting like crackers on our network. No, sir. I'll give you one more clip to play, man. There's one more clip of the DMs, and then we're getting out of here. I find that so funny. He huffed and puffed all. They were like, when did these black guys start thinking for themselves? Now, they're just supposed to say what we want them to say. We gave them... We gave them one whole day in June, damn it. Yo, these Democrats are so racist. They're the most racist people. These people give their opinion, and then you don't like their opinion, so then you say they're the white people of black people. Look, just say what it is. They think being white is bad. They think being white is evil. So like that dude just basically called those guys the white people of black people. If you're a white person, you're a Democrat. If you're a white person, you go along with this, you're pathetic. You're just pathetic. Like, it's not about politics. You have no self-respect. You have zero self-awareness or zero self-respect. That you would allow yourself to be a punching bag, that you would allow yourself to be a pejorative. Well, have you know that those black people they don't represent the majority of them, and that those are the white people of black people. Like, okay, totally not racist, bro. Go ahead, play this clip, because this is when I found this out. This is apparently from Sid Hirsch. Tim Dillon did a phenomenal breakdown on this. If you, like me, obviously watch Tim Dillon, he's better at this than I am. But Tim Dillon did a phenomenal breakdown of this. But I found that this should be the biggest story in the world. Well, the biggest story in the world should be that a 20-year-old goober beat the world's greatest protection detail with a mongoose, and a stepladder, and yet somehow he was in a BlackRock commercial, and yet somehow a BlackRock affiliated business shorted Donald Trump's company's stock the day of the assassination attempt. That should be the biggest story of the century. Somebody go connect those dots. This should be the second biggest story that nobody's talking about, and that is what is known as a coup. This is a Soviet-style coup. This is what happened to Khrushchev. This is what happens when you have a politburo. An oligarchy. This is when you say, we're defending democracy, when you have zero interest in democracy. And then there are people go, well, we elected delegates, and the delegates elected the candidate, so it's actually like the Electoral College. This is closer to what the Founding Fathers want. Yeah, okay. We've come full circle. The progressive left, who hate everything this country was founded on, are now quoting the founding fathers as an excuse for why this obvious corruption is okay. They have gone so far in their mental gymnastics, they are now constitutional conservatives? Okay. Play the clip.
Hirsch piece. Here's the cliff notes. Obama colludes with Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer. Sunday morning calls Biden and says, you're done. Kamala's gonna 25th Amendment you, and you gotta step aside.
And who places the call? Obama does.
So Obama calls the sitting president and tells him, you're done. Then tells Kamala Harris, you're gonna be the nominee, but if you don't gain traction, if you're not popular, we're gonna take you out too. I mean, it's all shocking. It sounds true.
If, in fact, the 25th Amendment is worthy of being invoked,
yes.
If his condition is such that it needs to be invoked and then they don't invoke it, then they're leaving the country in a precarious position of being led by a man not in possession of his faculties. If, on the other hand, it's not worthy of being invoked, then they've used an extortive threat to oust the guy who's at the top of the ticket, who's the current incumbent president. That's not okay. I'm pretty sure that qualifies in some way as extortion.
Mob tactics. Obama's a mob boss, straight out of Chicago. You know who called this first? Forget Cy Hirsch. The guy who called this is Rob Blagojevich. Rob, who basically was a mentor to Obama, the old governor of Illinois, when Obama became the nominee. He went to jail, Blagojevich, for selling Obama's Senate seat. He says that's a powerful thing, and that shit ain't cheap. And then he got caught selling it. And he said, this Obama, this screams Chicago politics. And it turned out he looks like he might be right. For those that don't know, the 25th Amendment was ratified in 1967. It's pretty new. And it basically says that the vice president and the principal officers of the executive department will notify the president pro temp of the Senate and the Speaker of the House through a written declaration that the president of the United States is unfit to serve. So they threatened to remove him by force, to say he was unfit to serve, to put Kamala in. That is the man that is the sitting president of the United States right now. As we escalate conflict with Iran, as we allow, don't make any mistake about it, as we allow Israel to bomb everybody else in the region, Yemen, Palestine, Iran, as we escalate the Middle East, as we have war going on between Ukraine and Russia, as we have Russian and Chinese fighter planes circling into our airspace in Alaska, look that up, they've been testing those waters. The Democrats said that this president is unfit to serve. The president that is still the president. Everybody's acting like he's not the president. Joe Biden is still the president. Nancy Pelosi says he belongs on Mount Rushmore. They extorted him. Said, drop out or we will remove you. And he is still the president of the United States. That's the guy leading us right now as the stock market crashes. War is up, stocks are down. Bidenomics. Nobody wants 4 more years of this. I don't believe it. Outside of these crazy cat ladies and these freaks, nobody wants 4 more years of this. But can they get close enough to steal it? And how do we stop the steal? Somebody help me. Help me direct me. Help direct me in the right direction. How do we stop it? We got to stop it.
Officials say 2 Russian and 2 Chinese fighter jets were detected, tracked, and intercepted. The U.S. official says that this is the first time Russian and Chinese aircraft have jointly entered the area. However, NORAD notes that the activity is not seen as a threat.
Why would it be? They just got lost. Oh, oops. Sorry. Definitely weren't testing your response times. Whoops. Definitely would do that if there was a strong, capable federal government. Definitely would be doing that. Man, we've got some work to do, folks. We need to get things back under control, or let it all go. Breathe in, breathe out the responsibility. Become unburdened of the past. Think of a future unburdened by what has been. And then think of yourself completely checking out of this system that has been corrupted and supports the worst amongst us. And then become the karma, right? We believe that being a good person means something. We believe that being a good neighbor means something. Well, maybe sometimes we have to be other people's karma. If there's no more comments, I'll leave you guys on that. Something to think about.
Yeah, so Luke himself has a few.
Go ahead.
He's said Kamala's dad is from Jamaica, but he's not ethnically Jamaican.
He's Canadian, right?
I think he fits a very specific group of Indians. That's what he mentioned. He also said they only care about power for power's sake.
That's it. That's it. Power. Communism is the religion, and they serve at the altar of power. Anything for power. Anything. Any lie, any cheat, any deception, any hyperbole, anything that moves them closer towards power is worth it. Those are the worst human beings on earth, to me.
He said, LOL, whoops, was just enjoying the scenery and got lost, and woosah the nation. Question mark.
Breathe out any responsibility. Be unburdened by what has been. Be excited about what is to come. You've got it in you. I know you do. This could be fun. Probably won't be long. Probably won't be the long life that we were looking for, the long, happy life that we were looking for, but it'll be fun. This has been Gerard versus Evil. Check out Cancels Weekly, new episodes every Wednesday, and I will see you guys on Wednesday at 3:30. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Everyone's a victim!